Welcome to the Pearls of Wisdom podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers. Hello, everyone. This is Guy with Jewelry Store Marketers, and this is another episode of the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry podcast. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Elisa Dillon from Southern Jewelry News. Always glad to have Elisa on the podcast here with
Hey,
us.
Guy. I'm always glad to be here.
Oh, we love Elisa. Well, tons of people love Elisa in the industry.
Oh, that's sweet.
Everybody loves Elisa. But today, our special guest is Melissa Pierce of Pierce Custom Jewelers from Lake Mary, Florida. Thank you for joining us, Melissa. Thank you. Cool to have you.
Thanks for having us. This is exciting.
All right. Yeah, I'm glad you're excited. We're excited.
Yeah.
You're in Florida. Is that I don't know where Lake Mary is on West Coast, East Coast.
So we're 20 miles north of Orlando, so we are right smack in the middle of the States. It's a neat little town where it's a great place to raise a family. We're on the other side of Disney, so we're at the side of town where the normal people live. As we like to put it. But we get to benefit from all of they say that if you have a child, you're coming to Orlando. At some point in your life, you're coming to Orlando. But more people visit Orlando than any other place on the planet, which is pretty crazy to think about.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yes.
It's a busy little spot, but it's nice where we are. It's nice and quiet, and we get to have all of the benefits with as little of the inconveniences as possible.
Fantastic. Okay, sounds good.
Were you affected by the Helene, the hurricane? Or Milton, whatever, which one? I mean, both of them, actually.
Right. So Helene, we had to, out of an abundance of caution, we had to close our store for a day because you can't exactly ask everybody to come in when, you got a hurricane warning going on. Helene, for us, where we are, was really kind of a non-event. We actually had worse weather the day before, just with our afternoon thunderstorms that we get.
Right.
Milton was a little bit of a different story. He came through, and they come through at night. And what nobody ever talks about is how loud these storms are. Like, they are loud. And this one hit at night, and I remember about 4:30 in the morning. It was literally, the wind was screaming around the house. So the store was closed for 2 days for that. But blessedly, we had no damage, no loss of life to our immediate family or our friends. A lot of people around here didn't even lose power, which is impressive for the infrastructure. So,
Wow.
So yeah, we're really looking forward to December 1st when the season is officially over.
Yes, I know. Hey, I'm in North Carolina, so we're still dealing with that up in Western North Carolina. So we are, our hearts go out to them, and I'm just glad you were able to stay open and not be closed more than 2 days.
Yeah.
That really hurts when you have to be closed.
The people up in North Carolina, the geology up there just isn't prepared for the storms, right? Like,
no,
they've got a high clay content in their soil. Their bedrock is granite. So it just gets mushy and slides off, where, people who move from up north want to complain about our sandy soil, but when you get 20 inches of rain in a day, you're really happy that you have sand.
That's a good point. Very good.
Yep.
Well, yeah, December 1st, get here. No more,
That's it.
hoping we're done with this. It was quite a hurricane season, so we were happy to say goodbye to that in
Exactly.
Florida and North Carolina.
Exactly.
Yep. With season is definitely upon us. But tell us about your store. How long have you been around? And
So our story is it's probably not quite as direct as some of the others that you've had on your podcast before. So I met my husband because he was my jeweler. That's how I met him. He's been a jeweler for 34 years. And I would argue he's the best jeweler in the country.
Nice.
I would put that up against anybody. There's some pretty big manufacturers across the country that when they're having a problem with a piece, they send it to Lance. to see if he can figure it out. But he he started Pierce Custom Jewelers in 2010. We got married January 1st of 2014. And I had my own career in Big Four consulting for a really long time. So I would dabble in the store and help him here and help him there. And then as a couple years went by, we decided that really highest and best use of my time is in the store. So left my career, joined the store full time, went back and got my graduate gemology degree, which love having that. You know, it's the coolest thing to be able to know why. Why is that stone blue? Why are not all rubies the same shade of red? You know, it's cool to know why. So we have been in business for 15 years now. I've been in the area, like I said, he's been in the area since 1995. So he is the jeweler around town that everybody knows. Very loyal following. We're very, very blessed to have great clients who just keep coming back. You know, we're now into third generations where, you know, we've created engagement rings, and it's really fantastic. It's really a privilege. You know, it really, really is. Because this business is all about trust, you know, and one of the things that will frustrate us to no end is when we see something negative happen to one of our clients through an experience with somebody else, and you know, we kind of have to overcome that. We have to help educate them and get them to the right place, you know. But that's our privilege. This is really our passion. And you know, my husband's an artist and a musician, and this is his medium. I'm very much the scientist, so you know, we make a great team.
Yeah, I was going to say that definitely does. And I've always said this, you might have heard before, about your jeweler. And when people ask about, well, who should I go to? I said, well, pick your jeweler carefully and thoughtfully. If you, just like you have to trust them. So pick your jeweler like you would your doctor, because you need all that, your trust. So I love that you said that, and the privilege. I think you nailed it on the head, why a lot of people are in this business for that reason.
So, you know, and if you have a fantastic experience, then what the clients really remember is, oh, look at my beautiful ring, and I remember when we got it, because it's not about the piece, it's about the entire memory that you're building. And if somebody messes up that buying experience or that creation experience for the client, that's all the client's going to remember. They're no longer going to look at that beautiful ring and be like, oh, I remember when I got it, or I remember picking out the stones and how beautiful it was. They're going to be like, oh, that guy was such a jerk, you know? And you don't want any of that negative juju on any of your pieces. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Melissa, it sounds like you guys got a great synergy together, and in the store, sounds like customers really like you guys, trusting you for multiple generations. Sounds like it's all, you know, rainbows and unicorns over there. There must be, but what has been the biggest challenges for you guys over the last 15 years?
You know, so some of the stories that come into the store, you just can't make it up. Like we joke that we really ought to have a reality show. You know, I would say for us, it is that new customer that comes in, it's got a chip on their shoulder because of some experience that they've had somewhere else.
Right.
And when you can't overcome that, right? I had a lady come in, and she wants just to get her ring size. It's her wedding ring. She wants it sized. She's got a beautiful 2.5 carat diamond in the middle of it. And she said, now, are you going to map my diamond? And I said, I'm sorry, do you want me to grade your diamond? Maybe I misunderstood your request. She goes, no, I want you to map my diamond in front of me right now so that I know when I get my ring back, it's the same diamond. And I looked at her and I said, ma'am, I'm sorry, but you are clearly not comfortable with us, and you need to be comfortable with your jeweler. So I would encourage you to find somebody you trust. And I handed a ring back to her. She was really taken aback by that. She's like, what? And I'm like, you've already decided I'm going to do something wrong. And we just don't even, our name is on the door. We're not hiding behind a generic name. We're not hiding, behind AAA, right? Our name is on the door. We live in this community. We participate in this community. Our daughter went to school in this community. I volunteered at every school she ever went to. Here we are, right? We can't hide behind, some incognito thing. So I just told her, I said, my name and our reputation is worth countless of your 2.5 carat diamonds. And if you don't trust us,
bye-bye.
Seriously, you're just setting us up to fail right out of the box. She has since turned into a very loyal client.
I was going to say, I bet she appreciated that more than anything. And she really wanted to earn your trust, and I'm sure, that's what she needed to hear.
Yeah, I think it surprised her when we were willing to let business walk out the door like that. I'm like, I just don't want the headache,
Yeah.
We've had to change some of the business practices thanks to the disruption of the lab-grown diamonds. I don't care either way. If you want a lab grown, we'll help you with a lab grown. We like to have something for everybody. If you want to stay with a mine diamond, we're happy to help you find a mine diamond. It's all about our client and what is working best for them in the moment. I had a young couple come in. I've known these kids since they were in grade school. And I've known them their entire relationship when they started dating in high school. And so they come in and they're wanting to get engaged. And of course, most of the young girls are sporting larger diamonds because they're lab grown, right? And he's determined that he's going to buy her a big 2.5 carat pair natural. And I just said to him, I'm like, I kind of mama beared him a little bit. Where I told him, I said, y'all don't have a house. Y'all still have to set up housekeeping. You're going to be having a wedding to pay for. I want you to think long and hard about investing this kind of money right now, where you are at your life right now. That's a privilege, to have those kinds of relationships in the community that, you can honestly advise somebody. I mean, we would have made far more money on a big fat mine diamond, of course.
Right.
But that's not what's best for the client.
And I bet there's lots of jewelers out there that kind of fall into that trap of both of those situations where somebody says map my diamond, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, let me document it, and let me make ease your mind by doing this extra thing that I normally wouldn't do, but just to appease you. On the other hand, you have the somebody is ready to drop a lot of money on a diamond, but then also you did them a solid, really, right? You helped them out, kind of putting it in perspective. What's really important here, a big fat stone on your finger or being able to live? And I'm sure, both of those situations are very possible for any jeweler that in a country, or any jeweler, right? And some will say, I'll look the other way and I'll just do it, and so forth. And I think so. What you're saying is will be a really strong inspiration for others to. I don't know if it's do the right thing, but I can't say that people are doing the wrong thing, but I think you have to you got to stand by your values, I guess, right? I guess that's what it is. Stand by your values and look out for people, right?
Yeah, if you are true to yourself, and if you are genuine with people and conduct yourself with integrity, and it's not just your clients, it's your vendors as well.
Yep.
That builds. And
oh yeah,
There are, we enjoy fantastic relationships with our vendors. We enjoy fantastic relationships with our suppliers, and I can call and say I need, $100,000 worth of diamonds because I got a client come in, and they will show up in my store the next day, because we've built those relationships. But this is absolutely a trust business. It's a relationship business. People are not buying a diamond; they're buying you.
So that's good.
Yeah,
That's
they're
good.
buying you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
as long as we remember that and we don't lose sight of that, and there are things we do some days that they're not good for the bottom line today, but they are very good for the bottom line overall. So I think you've got to keep your eye on what is the long game.
Absolutely.
Right.
Can't be
Right.
transactional.
Yeah. What is for you and your business? What's you got a long game in mind? I mean, are you looking for expanding to other stores or growing the business? What's in mind for you guys?
So I'd like to obviously I'd like to grow it. If you're not growing, you're dying.
Yep.
We all know that. I think for us, a stretch goal, I don't know if it's a stretch goal or not, it may not be, but I would like to build our own building instead of renting in a shopping center. I would like to build our own building. So that's a long-term goal of ours that it all starts somewhere, right?
You got to start a bucket list, and that should
Yeah.
be it. What are some other things on your bucket list, Melissa?
Oh, I would love a crystal ball when it comes to buying. Right? It is the most stressful thing that I do, is making buying decisions. So my husband and I pick everything for the store. We don't, our vendors don't just put a whole bunch of stuff together and throw it in our store. We pick and choose what we want to have in there. And it's really, really stressful, right? Because you're trying to anticipate what somebody's going to want 3-6 months from now. And
Right.
it's stressful. I thought it would be, when I joined the store full time, I thought that would be like the fun part, right? Like the vendors come and all this beautiful stuff is laid out. This is going to be, let's have this and this and this and this. And then, kind of the reality of the business side of it set in. So, but I don't think I'm unique in that either. I don't think that, I think that's a very common concern that we all have, right?
Right.
So yeah, we want to continue to serve our community. We want to
Fantastic,
continue
yep.
to have an opportunity to create. We get to get up every day, and even if I think I'm having a bad day, all I've got to do is think back to my days in Big Four consulting and what a bad day looked like there, and
Yep.
I've got it pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, Melissa, I was curious. You mentioned about buying and that challenge. What has been something in the past, a collection or type of jewelry that you weren't sure of, but it was the right play, the right bet. It worked out. People loved it.
So we swim in the fine jewelry pond. So most of the stuff in our store is 18 karat or platinum, and goes up from, most of the diamonds are going to be VS, FG, really known for our custom stuff. I think probably, especially in the last couple of years, we made a decision to open up a vendor that is still very, very well made, and sitting in the fine jewelry category from a craftsmanship perspective, but it's done in 14 karat. The diamonds are SI instead of being VS. So it allowed us to bring in a different price point without sacrificing that quality, so that we could continue to have something for everybody. It's no surprise to any of us, last 18 months have been a little tough. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're very much looking forward to that swinging back around, and hoping that this season goes much better. But if we hadn't had that additional price point in the store, those are sales we would have lost, and it's beautifully crafted, and we're proud to offer it to our clients. And did that answer the question?
Yeah, smart move.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very smart move.
Yeah. You got a question there, Elisa? Sound like
no, I was going through. So I was just looking at your website and really admiring that diamond that you took. I think this happens a lot. Some people bring their, cherished heirloom pieces. And can you tell us a little bit more about this? Because that picture on the website is an absolutely stunning picture, image of what you guys do, transforming this ring for a client. I can see that's probably your forte, and obviously you have a master jeweler there. But can you go through that process a little bit and talk to us a little bit about this fantastic ring that you transformed?
So I'm assuming you're looking at the marquee yellow diamond.
The marquee. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so this ring comes in, and it is your traditional yellow gold marquee sitting up on top. It's got it 1985 called and walked in our store.
Yeah.
So what we really tried to do with the client, and in this case, her husband had passed away, and she loved the ring. And again, there was a whole story behind it about how they acquired the diamond. And so there was a lot of sentimental value in it, but she didn't want it to look like a wedding ring anymore. And I mentioned earlier, my husband is an artist, and he truly has a gift for design. And he's got a real gift for somebody comes in the store and we have a cup of coffee. We make the best cappuccino in town, hands down. We have a cup of coffee, and we just have a conversation. It's not, what do you want to do? It's not 14, 18. It's not all those questions. It's just talking and getting to know somebody. And because you want to take in mind somebody's activity level when you're creating a piece of jewelry for them, right? If you got somebody that's super, super active, you don't want to create a ring that's sitting up on a pedestal because they're going to knock it off. So you just have a conversation with them, get to know them. What's their lifestyle? Tell us about this ring. Tell us everything and anything that you want to know. It usually takes a couple of weeks, and Lance will come back with sometimes I participate as well. I'm not I'm not unknown to participate, but he is our primary artist. But we'll just take all of that into consideration, and we come back with usually about 2 weeks. It's usually a sketch. We'll start with a colored sketch first, with different perspectives, so that a client can kind of get an idea. If they like the idea of it, then we will push forward, and it depends on the piece. So our shop is very technologically advanced. We've got laser engravers, laser welders. We use a CAD program for design. But CAD will lie to you. CAD will tell you that this will work. You can build a piece in CAD and this is going to work. But it's the old school jeweler who knows how to carve wax, who's been doing this for a long time, that knows, nope, CAD's lying to me. That piece is not going to be durable. It's not going to be this. So depending on the complexity of the piece and exactly what we're making, the next step in the process would be for the client to either approve a carved wax that they can see, touch, feel, try on, or they will come in and we have a CAD rendering for them, which we can, of course, spin and flip. And we've got a monitor in the store where we can put it up on a 42-inch screen.
Ooh.
They can see that. If they like it, then we move forward with the creation process, and then it's just a matter of, how backed up are we? Typical turnaround time from design approval to delivery is probably, I would say, we average 4 to 6 weeks. So I think we're actually quicker than most. Once we make, if it's one of our pieces and something happens to it, short of dropping it down a garbage disposal, but like a little diamond falls out, something happens to it, we back that piece as long as they own it. We'll size it as long as they own it. Whatever needs to happen, we take care of our pieces once they go out into the wild, because we're that confident in the quality that we're producing. And just like our shop is really technologically advanced, I have my gemological microscope that is out on the showroom floor and also has a camera that attaches to the aforementioned 42-inch screen. So whether we've got a client that wants to look closely at a stone they are considering, or if we've got a client that we are seeing a problem with the jewelry piece that they've brought into us, we can put it under that microscope, put it up on that screen, and show it to them instead of trying to guide them through, here's a loop, look here, look there. Like, we can just put it up on the screen and they can see it plain as day. But yeah, the design process is really cool. Once we do a bespoke piece for somebody, we will not create it again. It is bespoke for you. We won't do it again.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
One and only. One of a kind.
That's the whole idea.
Yeah. Well, the work is beautiful. Absolutely. Clearly, Lance is a master jeweler, and he does amazing work.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
He makes our job easy. He makes our job easy.
He makes, absolutely. Sounds like,
Fantastic.
Well, I think that's great.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of research before the call about you guys and Lance, and it sounds like Lance has been recognized and very successful as a master jeweler. But did he finally get that Harley that he wanted to get the?
He actually did. So not only did he get a Harley. So before I'll tell you a little bit. We'll dive a little deeper. So Lance and I have been friends. I think I met him the first time in 1999. Okay. We've been friends forever. And he used to come to my house for dinner. And I used to tell him all the time, he was the most confirmed bachelor you've ever met in your life. And I used to tell him all the time that you're not meant to be single. You are just not meant to be single. I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt. I have to close my windows because the landscapers are going to...
Go for it. Yeah.
Hang on just a second.
Yep.
Sorry.
No worries.
No way.
Yeah. It's Friday. It's yard day. Yard work never stops in Florida.
Yeah. And then that's why we can edit. We can just trim that little out.
That's right. So anyway, he used to, he was just a very confirmed bachelor. He wasn't going to get married. Nothing. Just no. Had his Harley. He was happy. Well, he actually went on to build a chopper. So he has 2 bikes. There's the Harley, and then there's his baby, it's a beautiful bike. I mean, the bike is like 12 feet long, and the tank is actually faceted. He did a flip-flop paint, so it changes color like a tanzanite does.
Whoa.
Yeah, it is so cool. I don't know if a picture, and I thought about asking him to join us today because he's so fun to talk to, but alas, he is buried.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, we could get him back on after the first of the year. And he could
I don't know.
tell us.
Can you guys see that?
Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
So
And you said the tank is faceted?
Yeah, the tank's faceted. So he built this in his living room.
We got to get this guy.
Yeah, so there it is.
Nice.
That's gorgeous. Beautiful.
Yeah. So he used to call this his marriage deterrent system because he's building a motorcycle in his living room.
So Melissa, I'm curious, what's your motorcycle look like?
So mine was Mine was I rode an Indian chieftain.
I'm an
you
Indian
go.
girl myself.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I had a big red Indian chieftain with fishtail pipes. And shortly after getting it, now the Indian, that's a big bike. She's about 1,000 pounds dry, and the clutch was just a beast. Now, once you're rolling, it's like driving a Cadillac, right? But I had been building some flower boxes in the backyard, and on my left arm, I tore my extensor tendon. I put a 6 millimeter tear in my extensor tendon, which is
Yikes.
your clutch hand. And the problem is
Ah.
you can't squeeze the clutch. And so what happened is I got it healed and everything's fine for daily use and being normal, but it's intermittent now. Sometimes I have a problem with it and sometimes I don't. And so between the injury to my arm and just when you're driving now, everybody is so distracted that I'm like, I've had my fun. We've reached this age. We're not dead. We're not injured. I say we hang it up. So I sold my bike.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what my bike was a red Indian chieftain.
Awesome. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
And so Elisa mentioned that guitar in the back. He's a musician. Are you a musician? Is that running the family there?
It does. So I don't know if we can turn it a little,
Yeah,
but
there you go. Yeah.
Oh, there's several.
Yeah, so there's lots of guitars on the wall.
Nice.
Wow.
So in order to be quiet, I never know. So I'm in the shop, I'm on the sales floor. And so we could be super, super quiet and we could have done this from the store, but I never know what's walking in the door or how busy we are. And I didn't want to be disrespectful of this time. So I just slipped home. So we're sitting in the music room at home.
Okay.
So my computer is actually sitting on, we have a grand piano.
Oh.
So I play piano. My daughter is a classically trained pianist. She's a very, very gifted artist.
Wow.
So yeah, we love music.
I love that. Yeah, I do too. And as we're going to end this podcast, can we ask you, since you're sitting at your grand piano, to end with some very nice music? It could be
Wow.
anything, and then we'll be like, oh, okay, because it's probably about time we were wrapping it up, right? God?
Yeah.
So I think we should wrap it up with Melissa giving us a little.
Is that possible, Melissa? Look at Elisa put you on the spot here.
I know. I'm like,
What?
This would be a first, Elisa.
Good.
No pressure, but pressure.
no pressure, but pressure, right? All right.
Well,
but you're sitting where my music would normally sit. So,
Okay,
see
good.
that.
You know.
Yes.
play it by ear, girl. Come on, you know.
I know.
Yeah, just knock out. But we do. Anybody who is listening today, be sure to go. We'll go ahead and tell you. Visit PierceCustomJewelers.com. Go see them and find them probably on all social media accounts. You definitely want Lance making your ring. If
You
you're,
do. He's the best.
and we'll get him on here.
Yeah.
Along talking to him about his craft. But we'd like to do it in the music room.
Yeah, you'll have to get him to play guitar for you for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, he's
That
far
would be
more impressive.
awesome.
The one thing that I'll give you a little last plug for our website is,
Yeah.
so our website we built it in-house. We do all of the photography ourselves.
Nice.
What I learned, because I can be a bit naive when it comes to, oh my God, that's so dishonest. Why would you do that? But, technology, there are ways that you can take your vendor's catalog, you can plug it into your website, and you can make it look like you have their entire product line sitting in your store. And when you go to buy it, it'll say something like make appointment or inquire or something. And to me, that feels kind of like a bait and switch, right?
Yeah.
So everything that is on our site is physically in our store. And
Nice.
That's not easy.
Yeah, it is physically in our store. It is ready for you to buy it, and I will hold it for you. You can come get it. I will ship it to you for free, whatever you like. But everything that's on that site is in store. A lot of our items, Shopify is our platform, and a lot of our items, Shopify doesn't want us to put anything online that's over 10 grand.
Mm.
So I'm like, that's a lot of our inventory because of the category where we are. So you'll see, contact us. And that's the only reason why it's contact us. It's not that we do not have it in the store. It is that Shopify has an issue processing that size transaction. So
Gotcha.
That's my plug for our website. It is open. It is honest. It is available.
Fantastic.
We're not pulling any bait and switch. So
That's good. That's
all right,
good.
so no pressure here. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, we will. We want to thank Guy. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, go
Because
for
we
it.
certainly appreciated it. And as we wrap up, we'd like to ask Melissa to give us a little bit of music to soothe our day. And it is Friday that we're recording this, so we're excited. And we're going to leave you now with Melissa Pierce signing off with some beautiful grand piano music.
Go for it. All right. There you go. Fantastic. I think I'm falling in love. I'm falling in love, Elisa. I'm falling in love with Melissa and Elisa Dillon here. Everyone that's listening right now to the giggles, we had the mini performance from Melissa Pierce. And thank you so much, Melissa. Anybody listening, make sure you give Pierce Custom Jewelers lots of love. Check out all the beautiful jewelry they have. Give Melissa and Lance and those guys over there lots of love. Make sure you're checking out Southern Jewelry News and Mid-America Jewelry News. If you're not, you're missing out big time. And Elisa is the person to contact if you need any information about getting some more exposure, because that's the place to be. I think those Mid-America and Southern Jewelry jewelers are the best jewelers. I mean, they really are amazing jewelers. So, and certainly glad to have you here, Melissa. My name is Guy, and this has been another episode of the Pearls of Wisdom podcast. Thanks, everyone. Catch you on the next time. Thanks, Melissa. Thanks, Elisa.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for listening to the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry podcast. For more information about the show, please visit southernjewelrynews.com/podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you can catch the next show. See you then.